Hey friends, welcome back to day 2 for the Baddie Bonda's 28-day yoga challenge. I hope everybody is feeling good out there. I know I have to admit, guys, I'm already like, oh, I gotta go, I gotta go do this thing. But that's the mindset that we all need to change, right? Like I get to escape and do something for myself. So tonight's theme is, again, a nice quick, we're starting with 15 minutes because I've had so many people ask me and approach me like, wow, you're doing so much yoga. Hey, Danny. And truly, guys, I'm the first to tell you I have lost my practice. So I am right here with you starting at 15 minutes. It's the consistency that we need to really nail down. So I'd love if you could join me. If not right now, then these videos will be available for replay, and I'm also intending to upload them to a YouTube library. So it takes a lot of guts to do that, I think. But so I've got a bunch of pillows and blankets. I highly encourage you guys to use these. Hey, Kathy. I am like pro props all the way. And of course, I can't find any of my blocks or my bolster because the floor was lava earlier, and they're great for those things. So whether you're stiff today, whether it's stress or the cold, or you're sick, or if you're just having a day, I am like the queen of stiffness over here, and any sort of movement, guys, especially on days when we don't feel like doing it, is usually when we need it the most. So I'm here to just remind you and remind myself that we don't need to like bust our asses all the time for a workout to feel good, because we're already doing that in our everyday life. So let's roll. The clock is a ticking because we live busy lives. So thank you for being here with me. I invite you to find yourself in a comfortable, either seated position or laying down on your mat. I'm going to be laying down. And just making sure that you can have as much surface area of your body touching your mat as possible. The backs of your legs, your shins, your calves, thank you, your tush. I invite you to even try and connect your lower back, the small of your back. Some of us have a pretty gnarly arch back there. Try and fill that gap in, backs of your shoulders, while also relaxing your shoulders down out of your ears, feeling the tops of your arms, your elbows, your hands, all touching the mat. And whether you're using a pillow or a cushion, or you're just down flat on your mat, or seating comfortably, I invite you to bring your left hand to the top, on top of your heart, and your right hand over your belly. And on your own time, just take 5 deep, loving breaths. With every exhale, letting go of a little bit of stress, a little bit of tension. If you're really aiming for some nice, full breaths, the best cue I've heard is a nice 360. So as you're inhaling, imagining you have a full 360-degree barrel full of air. Your belly, your ribs, your chest, and then as you exhale, you can feel your hands lowering. And oftentimes it takes us a little bit longer than this just to come down from the craziness and the busyness of our everyday. It seems like it's just one task to the next, to the next. And so that's another great reason to start small like this, is perhaps you can't carve out 60 minutes, but you can do 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there. So just making it a little bit more accessible to us. So again, friends, if this is not comfortable, you can also put the pillows underneath your knees. You can keep your knees bent. I don't think you can see my knees, but my knees are bent. And really, truly realizing that there's no proper way to do this. It really is up to you. And that's also why I practice with my eyes closed. It's because you're not looking at anybody else. So when you're ready, meet me up in, if you're not already there. Hi Sylvia, I wish you were here. So a little neck and shoulder release. Again, you can do this sitting, standing, but why would you want to do that? We're relaxing. So with a nice deep inhale, whether it's through your nose or ideally your nose, mine's still stuffed. You're going to drop your right ear over to your right shoulder. And we're just taking our time here and we're giving ourselves a nice sweet neck release. Inhale, back to center. Fill the lungs and move your left ear down to your right, your left shoulder. Could you imagine? Left ear to the right shoulder, that'd be impressive. So, like I was saying yesterday, if there's somebody out there like me that is thinking like, let's go, when is this going to start? We're kind of missing the point of a relaxation, tension-free yoga practice. Back to center. Back to the right again on an inhale, right ear down. This is all about slowing down and noticing, how did your body feel at the beginning of this practice? How did you feel when you got onto your mat? How did you feel when you realized that, oh shit, I need a yoga practice, I need to chill out? Inhale, back to center. Exhale, left side. It's just being mindful in those moments. Like when did you realize that today was either a good day or a bad day? It's in those moments that you could yell at somebody or find 15 minutes on your mat so that you hopefully don't yell at somebody. So coming back to center, we're going to do the same thing now, but in yes or no direction. So chin up to the ceiling. And as you're noticing, friends, you can do this at your desk, you can do this in your car, you can do this on the couch, you can do it at the dinner table, in bed, on your yoga mat, on the toilet, like literally. Nice and slow. Option to keep your hands here on your chest and your belly so that you're being more mindful of your breathing as well. But it is so important, one breath per movement. So whether, I don't want to confuse you, I really want you to just do what feels right for your body at this point, and we'll talk about the rest. So we're going to inhale with some shoulder rolls, lift your shoulders to your ears. I'm putting my hands down on my knees for this one, guys. I'm going tight, tight, tight because I have so much shoulder stiffness. And then exhale. Roll that back. Oh, I've got a knot so bad in my left shoulder that one didn't even go down. Inhale through your snotty nose. Shoulders up tight, tight, tight like a ball. And then on your exhale, roll them back down. Inhale. Do this on your own time if you want to. Inhale, come forward. Whatever movements feel right for you, just remember to breathe and notice. Like, how are you feeling? I know I have got some serious shit going on in this left side, but that's just noticing. Does one side feel different than the other? In this moment, I also encourage you to give yourself a little self-massage, because there's not many of us that have gotten a neck massage yet today. And you're worth it. Tension, baby. I'd be curious. Let me know where you carry tension. For me, it's definitely in my neck and jaw. So whether it's now, as we're feeling in the moment, the neck, the jaw, the shoulders, notice, where do you carry your tension? And remember that you can give yourself a little self-massage any time of the day. So we're going to come back down onto our backs. And you don't realize how much yoga or ego is in your brain. But when I first started yoga, I'm going to back this up, guys, so you can see me. When I first started yoga, I would see this. This is called a supine, oh my God, supine knee to chest. I was like, knee tuck, also that. I remember thinking, I am so fit, I am strong, I am too good for doing this. And fast forward all these years later, it's one of the hardest things. So if you suffer from back pain or shoulder pain or neck pain, literally just bringing your knees into your chest, it's like a full body stretch, because I'm actively pulling my knees down into my core, into my chest. If this isn't really accessible to you on top of your knees, perhaps you could also try the backs of your thighs. I invite you again to use your pillows under your head, under your lower back, wherever you feel like you could use a little bit of extra support. I'm going to go back to on my shins. And you can also start a little rock. So this side to side rock gives you a little lower back stretch, which I just love, a little massage. You can do some knee circles if you want, knees together. This takes some core stability, again. I'm starting from scratch, friends. I feel like a floppy noodle. But we all have to start somewhere. And I'm really glad that you're here starting it with me. So if you're exploring some knee circles, perhaps you do individual knees. Let me know how your hips are doing on this one. So my hips also, no bueno. Perhaps your hips are somewhere else that you store a lot of tension. As women, primarily, we carry so much tension and stress in these hips. And these hips don't lie. So you can use your blanket, lower your head. We've got that guy. So we've got our figure 4 coming up next. This one is going to target our hips and lower back. So we're going to cross. It doesn't matter what side you start with, friends. But I'm going to cross my ankle over my opposite thigh, coming up for a little figure 4 action. I recognize you can't really see me. So modifications for this, you can actually do it sitting upright. You can do it up against a wall. Again, it's so personal. You can also do pigeon. You're targeting the hips the same way. It's just a different position while doing it. So breathing deeply, sending all of your air down into the hips. We're going to stay here for 5 or so, maybe 6, 7, 8 breaths. Where these are bigger muscles, We want to spend a little more time. And I say that, but we're still fitting it all into this 15-minute ditty. So, switch sides. Forgive me, my stuffy nose. I think this is just my nose forever now. Inhaling gratitude for yourself for showing up for day 2. And like we talked about earlier, instead of thinking, oh God, it's only day 2, there's 26 more days, we're thinking like, Queen, this is the beginning of setting some new routines and kicking ass. Awesome. Bring the tops of your feet, bottoms of your feet down to your mat. We'll do a little windshield wiper action. Bringing both knees to the right side. Perhaps you feel it in your hips. I feel it down along the front of my thighs. Very, very tight. Whether you do this a little bit faster, a little bit slower, we're really just looking for that spine mobility, opening up those hips, giving our lower back a little massage, and remembering that breath awareness that we talked about yesterday. No matter what you do in yoga, as beginner, foundational as it gets, up to advanced, crazy, as nuts as you can imagine, the breath is the foundation. Hi, Jamie. I've been thinking about you. We need to chat, Frank. I can't look at the screen, guys. I get too distracted. Oh, and as you're laying here, just notice again, how are you feeling now compared to when you started? That was only a few minutes ago. We haven't even done anything like totally wild. Okay, so bringing your knees back in together, I encourage you to bring your hands out straight, almost like like a T, and you're going to bring both of your knees down to either side, one or either side. Doesn't matter where you start, is what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to go nice big inhale, and on your exhale, dropping your knees down to one side. Now be mindful that your opposite elbow isn't lifting off the mat, and you're trying to keep yourself as square as you can. So for some, this may be really easy. For others, not so much. Again, throw some blankets or some pillows underneath if you need some support, either in between your knees, underneath your knees. If the T straight arms don't work, you can bend your arms up into goalpost arms or goddess type arm. Together, we'll come back up to center. And on a nice deep, gather your breath with an inhale together. And on the exhale, drop your knees down to the opposite side. And again, just notice, does this feel any different than the other side? Perhaps you feel it in your hips. I personally feel it all the way up my SI into my lower back. And if you don't feel it, then get out of here. Go find a new yoga community. I tease. I obviously tease. I'm so glad you're here. So I think this will be our last one. Yes. So our final pose, I always love a good leg up the wall for relaxation and tension relief. So I'm not gonna, for the sake of filming, find yourself a wall, friends. And whether you're on a wall or not, It could be legs at the wall, or I'm just going to call this waterfall pose. But this little inversion, with your arms resting down at your sides, we're just breathing for 10 breaths. You can also just keep your feet on a chair if you're unable to go all the way up. It's just giving us a beautiful stretch in our hamstrings, bringing all of the toxins and all the CO2 and all the crap that's down in our lower limbs, flushing it all the way, shunting it back into our core, if you will. And truly, do this on a wall. Don't do it like this. This is silly. Maybe it might look like a little wall. This is also signaling to your parasympathetic nervous system that you're heading into rest and digest, and that you're okay and you're safe. You can turn off that fight or flight. Perhaps you do a few little ankle circles at the top. Your feet are also a really great place for self-massage. I do it like every day. Alright, so slowly breaking your feet back down to your mat. You give yourself one big final stretch out as far and wide, one end of your mat to the other, fingertips to the top, toes to the bottom, stretch. And with one final exhale, relax yourself down into your Shavasana. And just notice how you're feeling. So I know I feel pretty damn good, and we didn't do too, like, it wasn't crazy, right? It was a whole hell of a lot. So keep breathing deeply in your Shavasana. I'm going to read you a little meditation. Sorry guys, my nose is so stuffy. Hi Meg. Alright. So good job you guys. Day 2 already behind us. As you settle into stillness, allow your body to soften. Melting any lingering tension with each exhale. Let the ground beneath you hold you fully, offering without effort. Notice your breath, steady and constant, like the rhythm of an ocean. No force, no control, just a natural ebb and flow. Your body may feel stiff at times, but like the seasons, it is always shifting, always adapting. Every time you show up, whether in movement or in rest, you're reminding yourself that you are resilient, you are strong, you are enough, you are a baddie. So take these next few moments to simply be, to rest, to receive, knowing that when you step off the mat, you carry this ease and awareness with you. Breath is our foundation. Breath is what we can return to at any point in our day. So now breathe in the stillness. Breathe out the tension. And when you're ready, return gently, carrying the sense of lightness forward. So just to end off this little ditty, friends, I also would like to offer you a journal prompt for after practice, or perhaps for the end of your day. Where do I feel the most tension in my body? And what small movement or stretch felt the best today? Or perhaps ask yourself, what do you feel your body needs? Just listen. You may be surprised. So let's take day 2 in the books, my friends. Thank you so much. I've really enjoyed this. I've already learned so much. So thank you for the accountability and for kicking my ass back on the mat too. I love you guys. Namaste. Cheers.